I am here today with Sean Williams. He is the author of Star Wars: The Old Republic, Fatal Alliance. Oh, all right, well, there it is. Point back there. All right, which just came out this week. We're here at Comic-Con, and I'm going to ask Sean a couple questions. And
I'm James, by the way.
Hi, James.
Hi, James. All right, so we got a couple questions. What is the difference between writing in a series like New Jedi Order with your Force Heretic books, and also writing more standalone Star Wars books?
Well, the mechanics of actually writing the books can be quite difficult, particularly when they start changing things around. When I first signed up to do the New Jedi Order books, I read the first 10 or something in a row, just to sort of pick up the continuity, work out what was happening with the characters. And I can probably try that question again if you want.
Or just keep talking.
Keep talking. Between books 10 and 15, certain things changed that made writing the first book in our trilogy quite complicated, and then the ending kind of shifted, the ending of the whole series shifted as well. So that was kind of challenging, but really interesting as well. It's great to be part of a story that's living and mutating and growing around you, getting bigger and more wonderful. When you're talking about a 19-book series, there's so much room for characters to grow and develop, and that was very exciting. With The Force Unleashed, I was writing a story that was very, very well defined, extremely well defined, because there was a script, very small number of characters. That was a completely different experience, but also very exciting because it meant that I could concentrate on different areas of the craft of writing. And with the Old Republic, even harder because every person's experience, every player's experience of the Old Republic game is different, and you want to kind of find the common experience that everyone will have. And in a galaxy that's huge, with different character classes and dozens of different stories, it was very, very difficult to find the right story, but I think we got it at the end. Does that answer your question? I feel like I've kind of...
I think so. There we go. All right, and so you have a background actually writing a lot of other types of fantasy as well as science fiction. So what's one of the biggest things to adapt to when you're used to writing in your own worlds versus joining the galaxy far, far away?
Do you know what one of the great things is about writing for Star Wars is that there's somebody keeping an eye on continuity. I don't have to do it. I'm always making mistakes in my own books because I forget if somebody has blue eyes or red eyes or whatever. But Star Wars is fantastic because there's people like Leland Chi who will keep a close eye on what I'm doing, and then there's sites like Wikipedia, which I just love. I go to Wikipedia, look up one thing, and I end up just browsing for an hour. It's so fantastic. So on the one hand, you're working in a universe that exists, and you can't just make up anything off the top of your head, on top of your hat, I think I said, which wasn't quite right. But on the other hand, being creatively constrained makes the creative process more interesting, I think. So I really love it. I love the freedom of writing my own stuff, but I also really love working in a universe that already exists. And I think it is different, but difference is good. That's why I write in lots of different genres as well. If I wrote the same thing over and over again, I think I'd get bored. And writing a Star Wars novel, it's a guaranteed way not to be bored.
Wow, that's a really good way to wrap that up. Who is your favorite character to write?
That's a really good question. When I've been writing for Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, Mara Jade, Kyle Katarn, the Apprentice, the new characters in my books, they're all such great characters, and they all have their different qualities and they have different meanings for me as a fanboy, ever since I was 10. So I'm not sure I can answer that. The one that flashed in my head just then, I actually can't say who it is because it's a spoiler for The Force Unleashed 2. So I can't.
Right. Well, we will sequester this video.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed writing the new characters for the Fatal Alliance. Okay. This is my first time I've been able to freely make up characters, any characters that I wanted. Normally you are writing for canonical characters that already exist. And the 6 main characters of this story have never been in any Star Wars novels before. They're all my creation with the help of continuity people, and I've really enjoyed writing for them.
Wow, that's really cool.
Enjoy reading them.
Well, I look forward to cracking open Fatal Alliance. I have a question. You've written Force Unleashed and now Fatal Alliance and Force Unleashed 2. So is there anything in particular that draws you towards writing the game-based novels, or how's that process work?
I kind of fell into it. But I've always wanted to adapt novels from film. I mean, I grew up reading Doctor Who novels and Star Wars novels and Alan Dean Foster novels, and a huge Alan Dean Foster fan. I got him to meet him a couple of years ago, and I was such a fanboy I think I embarrassed myself, but I'm drifting from the subject. So I always wanted to adapt the novel, and I pursued a few properties down the years, but didn't get in. And did the Star Wars novels for the new Jedi Order, which was close. You know, it was in the franchise, but it wasn't a novelization of the movies or anything like that. So when the opportunity came to do the computer game, my first thought was, will I be able to do it? You know, what's the process going to be like? It's going to be very complicated. It's going to be very different to writing for movies. But my second thought was, you know, it's close to writing for movies. You know, I'll give it a go. And then when the script arrived, and I started writing from the script, and it was kind of exactly what I've been looking for. I find it a really interesting process, and I really enjoy it. It's any Star Wars novel is an act of collaboration, and working on a script by Hayden Blackwood, you know, is a really even more intense kind of collaboration, especially when the script is still under development, still being tweaked here and there. Scenes are moving, sometimes being cut, lines are changing. You know, it's a really interesting and challenging process. I really like it. So I kind of fell into it. Really, I didn't pursue it, and I kind of seem to be, you know, one of their game guys at the moment, which really appeals to me. You know,
is there anything you can say about Force Unleashed 2?
That it'll be great.
It'll be great. Awesome.
It's a good story. When I was offered the gig, my first question was, is he back? And if so, how's he come back? And the answer I got was the right one. It's not a quick fix to make more games. It's an idea that opens up the character to more interesting examination, and that's what I love about the Force Unleashed books. That his character is so interesting and complex. He's not just a guy who runs around with a sword killing people. Right. He's a great character in Force Unleashed 2. You learn more interesting stuff about him. That's a really cool thing.
Wow, because you know the end of Force Unleashed was a pretty big reveal. So
yeah, it was. That's right.
Yeah. So one more.
Sure.
You blog on LiveJournal.
Yes, I do.
And so how does that let you have a better connection with your readers?
That's a good question, because I regard myself as being a very lazy blogger, and I tend to blog about stuff that I found kind of interesting, rather than the process of writing, or I post interviews and stuff. I find LiveJournal a really good resource for me. So if I get interviewed online, I can post a link there and then I can find it later, which is probably a bit boring for my readers. But I think it's a way to step out from behind the persona of the writer and help people get to know you a little bit better. And hopefully that's a good thing. People don't have to like me, but I want people to like me, you know. So I think it's an opportunity for me to get to know my readers and better too, because you know, they come along and they can chat and they can talk to me about things that aren't just about books. I like that a lot.
Well, having that interaction with fans is really great. We're really great to have you here at Comic-Con, coming all the way from Australia.
It's great to be here. It's amazing to be here. Talking to you, watching crowds of people go by, and it's really fantastic.
Well, we appreciate the interview.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Nice
Thank
to
you,
be
Sean.
here. Thank you.